There's this interesting weather coming. Let's look at the long-term forecast. If you look Monday, there's basically this band of low pressure here. The red, the high wind, between the low, a light low and a normal high. You can see something just kind of not bothering anybody. But then, if you look down in this area here, I think is where we're going to see it. Around Monday night, something is going to develop. And what's really interesting is look at how fast the pressure is dropping on this low pressure. 983, 979, 976, 973, 968, 964. And look at how it's becoming really organized into a circular organized storm. 949, 47. This is going to be a very intense storm. Looking at the wind speeds, we've got 60 knots. Under 50 millibars is a big deal. And according to the weather forecast, it's going to miss South Vancouver Island and it's going to go north, and then it's going to start filling again. The pressure is going to start going back up, early Wednesday morning. The thing about a storm like this is, first of all, it's going to probably clock. I'm expecting it to rotate back out. Easy goes back out. It spins out. But the thing is if it doesn't, and if it keeps on going, or more worrisome, here's what worries me is this possibility here. Around Tuesday, if it just changes its course about 10 degrees to the right, it's going to come much closer to Vancouver Island. And if it comes too close to Vancouver Island, then what we're going to see is intense winds in Metro Vancouver. Right now, Tuesday night, we're looking kind of like at standard gale conditions. Sisters over here is going to get hit as it always gets hit, 40 knots. But Vancouver is spared because of our geography, which is great. Well, the whole strait is hit pretty hard. But if this weather, doesn't rotate back towards the ocean as fast as it looks like it's going to, we could find ourselves getting hit by what's called a bomb, a very strong storm that picks up speed very, very fast and intensity. And if that's the case, watch out, folks. Now, as far as marine weather goes, Wednesday is still a long ways away. But it's definitely time for people on the west coast of Vancouver Island to find shelter right now. And Haida Gwaii, Dixon Entrance and Haida Gwaii as well. The mid-coast might get really hammered by this. Okay, let's have a look at what Transport Canada says. Well, Environment Canada, sorry. Weather Canada, they're called now. So, look, if we look at the mid-coast here, they have a gale warning right now, but probably extended Wednesday, 45 to 55 knots, so they're expecting storm conditions Wednesday today. Tuesday, 45 to 55 knots. Remembering, you basically double it for kilometers an hour. And if you go back to the video on windy, instead of wind, I'm going to look at something else, which is wind gusts. Where are the gusts? Wind gusts. These are the wind gusts that you're looking. And, lots and lots of gusts above 60 knots. Oh, I should go to Tuesday. There you go. Lots and lots of strong gusts everywhere that you look, including out here. So be careful. These are all along the mountains of Vancouver Island. very strong gusts are going to be hitting the shore, and down in Vancouver, Vancouver's lee effect calms things down quite a bit, but still, gusting to 25 knots. Nothing to be sneezed at, but it's not 60 knots or plus. And then we have this interesting other graph, which is wind accumulation. So the wind accumulation, I think the best way to say it is kind of like how much potential energy, the accumulation for 24 hours, let's call it. And we're going to go back to here. I always struggle a little bit to understand accumulation. It's basically, the way I read it, it's potential for mayhem. Look at that rotating storm. So cool. Not so great when you're in it, though. And then it's just going to spin around and go for a second. I think it's going to go for a second pass. See that? It's going to come back around. Second time around. That's so cool. Let's see if it says that on the wind measure. So now, keeping track of the further away the forecast is, the less reliable it is. I wish I could accelerate this. Here we go. I'm just going to go like this to make it go faster. This is what we can expect. There it is, going for a first pass on Tuesday night. Wind, then going north and back outside. Still, but now it's dropping, much less powerful. And then, look at that, it comes back second time. Getting hit by the same storm twice, but by then it'll be much less powerful. This is no longer very powerful, it's just a light low pressure. And it hits us a second time. That is so cool. As somebody who's into meteorology and boats and marine weather, since it really impacts me, I find this just fascinating. Okay, let's see how this recording went.